Question and Answer Time with Todd and Aaron.
It's time for Q&A with T&A. By the way, that stands for Todd and Aaron.
All right, welcome into Q&A with T&A. This fine gentleman is Todd Downing. My name's Aaron Montgomery. We are with our success group. Todd, you're breathing. Your head is above water, so you're here, buddy. What's happening, dude?
Yes, we're here, man. We're here, right? That's the thing. We are here. We're large. We're in charge. I'm seeing some internet issues, so hey, add that to the mix because why wouldn't we have that? But man, we are getting it done. How about you today, awesome. Aaron?
Yeah, man, I'm just plugging away and getting ready for. I can't believe it's already Reggie season. In fact, I see right over Todd's shoulder there, one Mr. Reggie award-winning Todd Downing right there. Yes, sir. So we got that happening. Right? The nominees are going to be we'll start accepting nominees this coming Friday. And so that's happened over at Two Regular Guys. And then at the end of the month, we've got the Growing Your Business Effortlessly workshop. It's the business planning workshop. It's going to be a 2-day event this time. And VIPs are actually going to get a future you party if they so choose to attend that at the end of it. So check your email boxes. Those emails should be going out with information about that. I think I've got them scheduled for tomorrow. I've got to make a couple tweaks and then we'll get those sent out tomorrow to everybody to have an opportunity to sign up for that. So
then we got one more too. What's next Wednesday?
Next Wednesday? What's that?
Wednesday.
Well, next Wednesday is scheduling and estimating production time. And we've got a special guest trainer coming in to join us, Mr. Terry Combs. He's literally written the book on this. You can actually purchase a book that he's written about scheduling and estimating production time. And it's so fun. I've been friends with Terry for 15, 20 years now, something like that. And we've been doing the Two Regular Guys podcast for 10 years now. And so we've certainly talked about this subject many times, but he gets so excited about it every time that I'm cool. Like, okay, let's talk about it again. All right, this is great, man. Yeah. He's into it, and he's got a great system that I think will help a lot of people. So can't wait for that for the OSG members coming up next Wednesday.
Yeah, I think one of the great things about that and what excites him so much about it is every day there's new people coming in the industry, that we all assume, hey, I could probably do the same Tuesday with Todd. I could probably rotate them every 2 months, 3 months. And new people would see it because of you have the new influx of people. So you think to ourselves, hey, yeah, we've talked about this over and over, but yeah, there's plenty of people that haven't seen that. And something like that, on just the production aspect of a business, yeah, that can make or break you. You don't realize how much of it is and how much time, is worth until you start looking at things like that. So I know Terry's been around the block more times than I can count. And I know he has definitely forgot more things about screen printing than I know. So on that production side of it, it all flows into all of our businesses and workflow and how to get more efficient at it. So it's super excited for this training. And if that's something that you want to know more about, you can go right up there. Yeah, right up there. OurSuccessGroup.com, and you can find out more information about our membership program. Starting at $99 a month, you have a ton of great value that is with that, and we'll help you walk you through your business step by step. So go over there, get more information, set up a call. We would love to talk to you about that.
Absolutely, yeah. The other cool part about this, just real quick to kind of finish that thought on the scheduling estimated production time thing, the thing that I guess I always kind of gravitate to when he's talking about it too is like, if your customer comes to you and your idea of scheduling is when do you need it, right? That's going to put you in a bad spot because you're going to end up under delivering for your customers, right? The whole thing about customer service is being able to deliver on time, create a good product and deliver on time. And so understanding how to schedule things out. Obviously Terry's a screen print guy. He's also very involved with DTG, DTF type stuff too. Mm-hmm. But this system, this whole concept that he's got and how to kind of work this through is such a cool concept because it works for anything. Really, it doesn't matter if you're, an embroiderer or a sublimator, doing vinyl, doing rhinestones. Honestly, any type of kind of light manufacturing, so to speak, that you would be doing, this system will work. So it is really exciting, Todd. So I can't wait for Wednesday.
Me either. Like I said, I love trainings like this. That we want to bring in the guest trainers because then I get a chance to learn too. There's something always something new to pick up and learn. Because there just is. You don't know everything. So if you're able to get in there and learn something, learning is earning. Getting out there, learning the information, and then not letting it be that shelf help. Actually putting it into motion. That's where you start seeing that payoff at. So I'm super excited for it, and I can't wait to see what comes from it.
Yeah, good deal, man. So so let's see who we've got here. We've got Curtis checking in, saying hi, guys. So hello, Curtis.
Curtis, hello, sir. Remember, when you get here, make sure you comment. Let us know you're here, where you're watching from. How's your day going? We'd love to hear you.
Absolutely.
This is your time to ask some questions. We've got we've got some time to answer some stuff. I think there is 2 loaded up in there, but I wasn't sure if the one was that one we answered last week or not.
They were both ones that we got last time. So we are sans questions.
Is there? The one I just put in there.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I must have deleted it on accident then, because the one was about the when should you become a business or get a business license, and then the other one was, is this vendor thing right for me? Those are the 2 that I saw. So maybe I missed.
Oh, you know why? Because I'm looking over in the TWT side of it.
Okay, that's fine. I can go there.
Yep, grab that at the bottom. Like, I see 2 right here.
All right. Well, let's get to those. Let's say hi to a couple more people here real quick. We've got Alan. He just finished mowing the lawn, so excellent.
Last time of the year, right? It's got to be close to the last time.
Coming down to the wire. I know ours is just about done. We mowed a little while ago, and it doesn't really need it again. So when he says afternoon playing the sourcing game, who took all the performance shorts? Yep, there's a fun game, right?
Yeah, basketball season. That's a ticket. People are getting those for basketball season. They took them all, I believe.
Oh, makes sense. Okay. All right. And then, Todd, we're ready for you.
FU! Facebook user? That's what it stands for.
That's what stands for Facebook user, right? Absolutely. So what should they do instead?
Actually, we have the new link because you have it in the, I'm in the wrong side there. But you can either go over to Fat Dad Live or Live OSG to see that's on YouTube, or Aaron has a link right there. Here it is, osg.link/FU. Go there, give StreamYard permission. You should be able to see us after that. Listen, StreamYard and Facebook don't always play nicely together. Seems like some people once a month they have to go in and re-register. The way to stop that is if you just head to either one of our YouTube channels, boom, fatdadlive.com, live OSG. While you're there, like, subscribe, turn on the notifications. Every time we go live, you will be notified and you'll be able to see who you are. So I love that part of it.
There you go. Love it. Perfect. Okay. Well, let's dive into that first question and then we'll see where we head here. So, okay. What are some mistakes you made in your business? Todd, I'll let you dive into that first.
How long do we got? Because, I'm one to definitely say that we are not perfect by any means in our business and our business journey. That's been half the fun is the mistake side of it. I think probably 2 of the biggest ones is not saying no to customers, not saying no to that job. When we're starting off, we want to take every job, every job that came in. Yep, we can do it. Yep, we can do it. And that's not always the right thing to do, but when you're starting off, that's what you think it is. I can't say no to a job. I can do this. And so I think we got behind, a few times on that, because the other side of that is not knowing how long, a process would take. We'd look at something like, oh yeah, that's not going to take nothing more than 5 minutes, and it takes 15 minutes or 20 minutes. And instead of it being a one thing, it's a 25 piece or 30 piece thing. So you thought, I can have that done in an hour. It takes you 8 or 9 hours to do, and you're busting your butt to get it done. And you're like, never again. And then like 3 months go by and you do it all over again because you didn't remember to go through it. So I think that that is definitely two big ones. Not saying no to jobs, not not estimating time correctly, and those are things that as you do it more and more. Some of the other ones, is hey, I'm full of mistakes. Not outsourcing sooner. I was a real firm believer that I need to do everything in house. If I didn't do it, I couldn't offer it. And we've talked about this in past trainings about that focus circle. And you only have so much time in a day. Only have so much focus. So if you're really good in vinyl, right? You're HTV, you're crushing it in that, and you're great at it. But your people want laser engraving, and then you want to do embroidery, and you want to do DTF, and you want to do rhinestones, you want to do all these other things. Well, that focus circle is still only this big, and now you start adding things to it, it starts cutting that down. So instead of you being really good at one thing, you're kind of crappy at a bunch, and or you just don't offer that. And so for us, it was we just didn't offer it. Or we took longer to do it. Finding that outsourcing partners on things really helped our business. And that's, where we got our foot in the door with the wide format printing is we got hooked up with somebody that would help us out with the printing. Every job that came in, we just saved the money from it. So we paid them, the money that was left over, saved it, because now we had nothing out of pocket. We had money sitting there until we had enough build up that we knew the business was there to be able to buy the machine ourselves. So we were able to buy it from that. So that was something that we saw it, we made sure that it covered the business, they covered that, covered payment, whatever we want to do, when we knew that, we had the business there to support it. So that was something else along it. I think something else that we could all do in our business now that very, very few of us, especially those solopreneurs, are doing a lot of is documenting our process through, video or photo, making sure that we have the phones in our hand right now. And, if you go back and look at your high school photo book, and think pictures that were taken, I guarantee you the phone in your hand takes better pictures than what was taken there, because they're just better cameras now. So there's no reason not to be documenting everything, taking pictures, taking videos, doing that. The more that you can put stuff out there, the more people get to see you. So that's probably, something that I'm learning now later on in our business that if I would have done sooner, more than likely it would have helped the business grow a lot faster. That I think that's a good mix of things that I can say that I have made mistakes along the way. I'm sure if I think about it long enough, I'll come up with a lot more, but those are probably the biggest ones that I can think of right off the top of my head. What about you? Yeah. What do you got?
Well, first off, Todd, thank you so much for sharing all that. I mean, that's and I don't think you're alone either, right? In the conversations I've had with folks, that typically, those are fairly common type things. And but for all those reasons that you mentioned too, right? We think we need to do this. We think we need to go this way with it. It becomes very well when you figure it out, when that light bulb goes off, right? You talked about like the outsourcing, right? When that light bulb finally goes off and you can get to that place, it's very counterintuitive, because you think it's actually going to make your business worse or less successful. But the reality is you're going to make it more successful. So I love that you were willing to share all that. Also, when you're looking at something like that, you talked about how you got into wide format that way, right? Because when I was out at Start Here Academy, Eve Lowry from the Baby's Booty, she was giving her presentation. And one of the things she got asked in the Q&A portion was, how do I know when it's time to add a piece of equipment or upgrade to something new, right? And she was very clear about the fact that if your business can't pay for it, don't do it, right? And so you got to build that market somehow, some way, and through outsourcing and doing stuff like that. So so those are really, really, really good points, and I hope people kind of wrote those notes down. So let's see.
They always go back and watch, right? You can go back and watch. Go back and watch on that. That's what's here for. Watch a replay, team replay. Put that in the comments so we know they can watch it.
Yeah. There you go. Team replay. What did you take from this question here? What are some mistakes, right? And sharing yours too, I think is really helpful. I think a big one for me has been probably two things that really stand out. I'm not in doing the decorating business specifically myself, so it kind of doesn't look the same exactly. But a big part of it was kind of diving in without a plan. I've done that several times. There was a business that I ran that was selling pre-press supplies, and it was kind of like, okay, cool, let's just dive right into this. And I didn't really have a plan. And what happened when I didn't have that kind of business plan or strategic plan, whatever you want to call it, I was just chasing all the shiny objects. It's like, oh, let's try this, let's try this, let's try this, and it just hemorrhaged, right? You were just hemorrhaging because there was so much wasted effort and time and money and all that other stuff that there was some hemorrhaging going on. And then one of the other challenges that I think mistakes that I made was not understanding who the market was and kind of, like you said, building that market, right? So just thinking back to the pre-press business, for example, somebody would come to me and say, hey, I need this thing, right? It was an ink cartridge or something along those lines. This was selling film and ink and stuff like that for doing screen print pre-press. And I've got this random printer over here. I need an ink cartridge for it. And, not understanding purchasing or anything like that, I'd reach out to the person I was buying from, and they'd be like, okay, well, you need to buy X, 25, 50, whatever. I'd be like, oh, okay, cool. And then all of a sudden I've got these cartridges of ink that one person needed one time. And like in my mind, I was like, oh, well, I'll just be able to sell those to somebody else. No problem. Big deal. I got to get this order. Right. And so I think that, and I think you guys can probably, take a lot from that in the decorating side, right? It's like, I need to go buy a case of mugs or, because one person wanted this random coffee mug, and, you get all the excess supplies there, right? If that customer who you bought that for didn't basically pay for everything that you're buying, then don't do it. Right. Yeah. And that's what I learned the hard way, is like, if that guy needed the one cartridge, he needed to be willing to pay for 25 cartridges or whatever the minimum was. Regardless of whether I was sending him one or not, I was putting my business in jeopardy by basically carrying all this inventory that I had nowhere to move. And so the same thing can happen for decorators, right? You're carrying all this inventory. That's just cash that's sitting there doing nothing for you, that you're going to end up at some point just blowing out and probably losing money on it potentially. Whereas you could have that cash, right? And you could then go use that for marketing, use it to upgrade equipment, whatever, right? So I guess those would be the two things, Todd. Not having a good plan when I got started, and then not really kind of thinking through carrying inventory.
I think if you don't have some sort of dead inventory, you are not a real apparel decorator. I think we've all done that, where we're like, we had that extra shirt to the order, where we want to try this out. We're bringing this in for samples. We're going to do that. And then before you know it, you have a 10 by 20 storage unit full of cases of stuff that you're not sure what the hell is in there, because you're like, inventory. Yep. Okay. Let's go through and figure it out. So I think we've all been there with stuff.
Yeah. And Todd, that's certainly not to say that, you're exactly right. You're going to have some dead inventory. It becomes part of it. You got to sample it, you got to test it. But again, trying to make sure that stuff's covered, right? So if you're always feel like you have to buy an extra one to get the job done, well, when you're quoting that job, then make sure that you're including that, right? When our success group members do that stuff, we've got spoilage, we've got that stuff built in. And so then it becomes like, when you then do sell that stuff later on down the road, regardless of how much you get for it, it's a win because it's already paid for. So it's all profit, at the other end of it. So I think that would be something I would recommend doing. So excellent. All right, Todd. Well, should we get to the next question? Or, we've got Chuck joining us here tonight. Good evening, Chuck.
Yes. Let's get to the next one. Hold on a second. Is there nothing tomorrow?
Oh, you must have a delay over there on that side.
I was looking at something else, and I was trying to, because I was confused by, I was handed, it was like an important announcement, when you're at the news desk and somebody hands something, and I was confused by this because it doesn't say there. Yep. Okay. All right. We had something that needs to be overnighted. Yeah. Wait. Oh yeah, there it is. What's up, Chuck? There it is. What's up, Chuck?
There we go. All
I
right,
had
we
some
got
that
it.
went that needed to go out overnight, and so Corey was taking care of that, and she wrote some numbers down on a paper, and I was confused because tomorrow was Thursday and it said Friday. I'm like, no, tomorrow, and that was I just needed to read a little farther down. So
Okay.
so,
All
yeah.
right. Well, glad to have you back here. All right. Thank you, sir. Oh, so you want to get to the next question then? That sound good?
Yeah. Let's get to the next question.
Oh, Brian says overnighting question mark.
It's Brian's order. It's Brian's order.
It is
said
Brian's
Friday,
order. Okay.
and
So Brian, it'll be there Friday.
Friday's, yeah, it'll be there tomorrow. It'll be there tomorrow. That's what she said. She had stuff down. So Brian, your order is in shipping. Your order, just the tag just printed out for your order, and your order will be there tomorrow by noon. There you go.
There you go. Awesome. All right. So Wendy says, I always add my logo on gang sheets for transfers. My clients pay for my designs. No wasted space. I love that. Great job, Wendy.
So with that, I know somebody else that what they did is they've got businesses that they want to go after, right? Who's my clients I want to try and win. And so what they do is they do that same thing where they will put their logos on gang sheets and that. So when they can send out a sample. It didn't cost them anything extra, for that transfer. And most of the time, they have that one shirt extra that they used for something, So now here I can get rid of that excess inventory. I can get rid of this. It's already been paid for by other customers, and then send it out that way. So I love that, putting those other logos on those gang sheets. Great.
That's a great idea. Good, nice, great idea, Todd and Wendy. Thank you guys for sharing that. All right, here's the next question. Is there a standard ROI I should be expecting when spending money on marketing?
Aaron, is there a technical dollar amount or percentage amount? Because if I don't get free to every dollar, then is it really worth it? A lot of it depends, I believe, on what the goal is. Is it a quick sale or is it a long-term sale? Because sometimes you'll spend money now, but you're not going to see anything for 3, 6, 9 months, a year down the road. You're investing in that. But as long as you have something traceable that can go back to it, then, it comes out there. But for me, I like to see no less than 3 for every 1 that's spent out of it.
3 to 1. Okay. Yeah. I'm not familiar with like a specific, like this is industry standard type thing. I mean, I know that, depending on what stage of your business you're in, right, you should be spending about 25 to 10 to 25% of your revenue on marketing, right? So, if you kind of reverse engineer that, you could kind of figure some things out. But I agree with what Todd said there. There's so many variables to it. Honestly, 1 for 1 is fine if you're building that long term, right? And even, even as a kind of loss leader in a sense, right? You could be marketing and spending more on marketing than what you're immediately bringing in, but over time, if that adds up into repeat business and things like that. So that's a really hard question to answer specifically. I can't think of anybody that does, this is the formula. So I would, kind of go with what you said there, Todd, is just looking at something. You gotta go with what's right for you. And I think that maybe is the other side of this, Todd, is a lot of these things, depending on what your business is going to, kind of be a big part of that. Right. So if you're selling kind of higher end services, higher end packages and stuff like that, right, the ratio is going to be a little bit different than if you're selling, kind of lower end, I'm not saying cheap or anything like that, just $10 shirts, right? Something like that, where, that ratio is also going to be different. Right. So I personally would not spend too much time and effort and energy kind of going, oh my gosh, I've got to have 3 to 1. I've got to have, again, you've got your gut feel to it. And, you've been able to over time build that up. But I think somebody really kind of newer into marketing, you're going to trust your instinct, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. You're going to understand pretty quick, did this work or did this not work? And then, I think what you do really well, Todd, is then you kind of understand, okay, what is that? I guess if it didn't work, if your gut's telling you it didn't work, what did you learn from that, right? And that could be worth the same amount of money as what you got in a return on investment. So
Yeah, I think some other things to think of when it comes to this is don't spend money you don't have. So if you don't have it, don't spend it. Don't spend money that you need. Like, hey, if I'm going to spend $100 on this, I don't need this $100. I think anytime you go into something expecting something back, that's when it usually blows up in your face. So if you're not willing to just to piss away $100, then don't spend it on ads. Because a lot of it is learning. In that beginning, you're going to spend a couple $100, maybe a couple $1,000, trying to understand who your market is, how the ad sets work, and it doesn't matter which way you go. It's the same whether if you're using newspaper, radio, social media, billboard, anything that you're spending on, because you're spending it in the hopes to get something in return. But sometimes there's just a bust. How many Hollywood blockbusters have been $100 million budgets and they only brought in $10 million in revenue, right? Things just the best script, the best everything, best actors, everything can go there, and it just turns into a complete bomb. Things just happen. So don't gamble away money you're not that you need, that you're not willing to lose. The other thing I think is having a clear goal. Hey, I want this. I want more eyes. I want more sales. Okay, now that you know this, how can we get back to that? One of the things that we talked about was for us for our fourth quarter was we're really going to push our transfer sales. We put a plan up there. We said, here's what we're going to do, and our goal, was we wanted to have 100 new customers that equaled $10,000 in sales. And that was our goal that we set. But we had a plan in place on how to do it. Well, that plan may be adjusting depending on how things work out. One of the things that we did was we got into, a couple Facebook groups, talked to a couple different people on their thing of it. And so we're going to start, getting in there and giving them their own code so it's easier to track. We got in with one, went over some stuff and, gave them their thing. And from that one, I'm looking at it right now. We've had 44 new customers from there. And of those 44, 10 have come back for a second order. So, just under 25% of the one. So we've got 44 new ones already. 25%, or a little under 25% have come back for returning orders. So, hey, do I need to go spend money on ads? We talked about this, when we set stuff up in our 12-week roadmap. Here's what we're going to do. But, hey, we're finding something that's working here. Should I spend on this? Do I bring that budget down and do I move it over here? We'll still run our specials, still run that, but this is a free one. So we didn't spend any money to get this back. We just spent time, going in, talking in, sitting on a couple things. So you can lay a plan in place for it. But if things change, that's the great thing about this. And especially when it comes to social media is you can see your results quickly. You're not spending money on a newspaper ad, waiting to see how that plays out. You're not running 30 days of radio advertising to come out there. You see what's working now. What 3 to 5 days something's working, and you're able to change it and not be sucked into this 90-day contract, this 1-year commitment. You're spending what you can have with it. So we're finding what things that work in different ways, and so when we know that we have different people that have their own groups, hey, let's start reaching out to some of those before we're spending money on some of this other stuff. And that just creates more of it. So I'm really excited about that because I didn't even think about that. When we went through it, we're going to spend this, we're going to get in front of these people, and these are the ad sets we're going to run. And we're still going to have our specials, which there will be one in November. So just so everybody knows, on the transfers of the, what was it? The I can't even think right now. Ready to press transfers. There will be a special for those. We'll have one on my birthday. We'll keep you up on that, and we will have one, for the week of Black Friday. But going through all of that marketing, not once did I think, hey, I should reach out to some of my friends that are in the industry that have groups and see if we can work out any kind of deals with it. Why the hell didn't I think of that? I didn't. They reached out to me and said, hey, you seem to know a lot about DTF, or people are asking about it. Can you come in and talk a little bit about it? Absolutely. And from that, 44 new customers, 10 have returned back for sales. Not a bad thing for just investing some time. So guess what I'm going to do? I saw something that worked. I'm going to go with what works instead of here. That's the great thing about our business. anything can change from day to day, and you just keep at it. Super fun and exciting. Anytime you can do stuff like that, it is great. So I'm looking forward to seeing what else this is, because here it is, 5 days into the fourth quarter, and we're almost halfway to our goal of 100 new customers. So I think that's a win in my book right there.
Yeah, definitely a win. Well, and you mentioned that 12-week program, right? So those folks that were part of the marketing program, this should be your kickoff, right? You should be into it. So curious for those of you that did the 5 P's of marketing, where you're at with that.
Yeah, and that's the thing, is the great thing about marketing, especially in our industry, is there's so many ways to go about it. Now, with us providing printed transfers to others, may not be the same approach that somebody else would be able to do. But there are groups out there for everything, right? If you're in, we've talked about this, your niche. What is it? Okay, if here's my niche, is I'm all about dogs, right? Me and my little fur babies were there.
Yeah.
Hey,
yeah.
can I get in some of those groups that are all about, the Alaskan Malamutes, and, hey, I love them. Here's my dog. We support this. Can we work out something here? We didn't never talk about that once. And now I'm like, man, I totally dropped the ball on when going through it and said, yep, we should have did this, and I should have did this so I could talk about this. And it didn't. That's the beauty of this. There is no right or wrong thing to do. I take that back. There is a wrong thing to do, and that's not to take action. You have to take action, because if you're not doing it, guess what? Somebody else in your area is. We're looking at, with our growth and our expansion and starting up the 2 new businesses, I'm already on it. Like, here's our list of stuff that must be accomplished there. I mean, even for me, one of our goals for the year was to have 50 produced videos out there, right? And we know what my biggest hangup has been is just the editing of it. Like, how do I go about doing this? What do I do? I get stuck in my own head, because I'm like, I don't have the time for that. I don't have the time for that. And that's a bunch of BS. I don't make the time for it. I don't make the time to get out there and do it. So I will tell people more about, I don't want to say who I'm working with until I know that this works, because the last thing I want to do is say, yeah, go here and get their service and find out that it completely sucks, but I found somebody who is going to help me with this. So it's going to be 10 videos. They are coming up with the scripts. They've come up with the topics. They gave us little things to choose from. Let's see what else. Let me look and see, because this started last Friday through it, and so we've been going back and forth with it. So they provide the video ideas, the scripts. They'll edit 10 videos for our channel. We just have to record, and they're going to walk us through how to record for it. They're going to do the thumbnails for the video. They're going to do the reels for Instagram and TikTok on it. And they're going to do a little posting and promotion of each video. I mean, that sounds pretty good to me. And, the package is $500. Okay, I did the math. That's for 10 videos. That's $50 a video. My time is $125 an hour. There's no way in hell that I'm editing the video and doing all this in less than an hour. So first money, it's like, okay, let's try it. Let's see how it is. If it works out, I will be more than happy to tell people, more about it. But that's what we do. We try stuff out. I went into this thinking the worst thing that happened is I'm going to have 10 videos made that aren't going to be any worse than what I would do, only I didn't have to spend the hours upon hours doing them. So I went into it knowing I was okay losing $500. I was okay losing that if nothing was there. And that's what, I said, it comes back to marketing. If you're okay with losing the money, then that's fine. There's been some people that we know that have been, too good to be true offers, and they thought it was, this is the way to do it. I should totally do it with there. And we both said I would not be doing that if you are not comfortable losing that money. If you're not comfortable losing that money, don't do it. If you're fine with losing it, never seeing a result, never seeing anything, then hey, by all means do it. And with me, the person that I'm working with, they have about 500,000 YouTube subscribers. Not real. I'm not, real worried about them not producing because of that. And I've seen some other things that they've built up for channels and that. So I was good with it. But mean, I just had to look at my time, and I valued my time. And if somebody else, it's one of those where it's great. And so, that's what they did. They set up, the exploratory call to talk with us to see what we're going to do. Then they had, they started off with 1 to 3 ideas of videos. Here's the different things that you can do with it. And then from there, here's some parts of the script, of different questions, and they'll put stuff together. So, I mean, I'm so far the process has been good. And if the results turn out good, hey, I can't wait. But that's another one of these things. We're going to use this to build content to grow. And yeah, this whole business of everything is we want to get in front of as many people as we can, to get in front of as many eyes as we can, so we can get our message in front of as many people as we can. So it's a great thing. It's a bad thing. It's a thing. It really is a thing. And I love it. And I wouldn't ask to do any other business. The best business, I think, is if you don't like, what you're doing every day, then maybe it's not for you. Maybe something else is. So I'm not telling you to quit your job. I'm just saying, if you're not happy, find happiness. Because at the end of the day, if you're not happy, then right?
That's right. That's right. All right. Well, Todd, I think we've covered it, man. That was some great stuff. Michelle checking in here. Good afternoon, gentlemen. Anything else that we missed, Todd?
I don't think so. I mean, we've got a lot coming up here. We got the Reggie nominations opening up on Friday, which I was really hoping Glitter would be ready to roll, and then I could get in for that category, but I don't think that's going to happen. So, I got a day to do that. I could totally put it out there and just put everything out of stock, and I could just print the roll I have and just be like, here you go, it's out there. But that's not going to work. So we've got that. Of course, I will be, pushing for my inaugural category, the most inspirational, encouraging decorators community member. Did not win in 2021, but maybe in 2022 I will come back with a vengeance and scissors. And, I know, good old Caesar Joe, one year by, kind of being in robes and giving a little, skin to win type thing. I mean, I'm not saying that I would, but I'm not saying that I won't either.
All right. Well,
that's
just
always
give
fun.
me a heads up on that show. I'll be sure to miss that one.
if you're new here and you do this, you don't know what the Reggies are. Aaron, explain to us what the Reggies are for people that are new and may not have any clue what they are.
Yeah. So, the Reggies are part of the Two Regular Guys podcast, and this is actually our 10th annual Reggie Awards. So that's just blows my mind, right? We started back in 2013, and we're able to do that. So let's see here. What else is it? So here's the thing about Reggies. Most of the awards in our industry, and I'm not saying this is bad, and in fact, I think there's some really cool awards out there, but every other award that I'm familiar with in our industry is voted on by some panel, right? There's a panel, and not all of them, but some of them are just the good old boys network. It's like, oh, look, so-and-so is involved with this. Oh, they happen to have XYZ screen print machine. No wonder, right? Kind of thing. They're out there. So what we decided is we were going to do an award show that was just all about the people out there in the industry. It's for the listeners of the Two Regular Guys podcast. Does it devolve into a popularity contest? You go out there and you get your followers to vote. Absolutely, right? It happens. But the cool part is we set it up in such a way that you can nominate anybody. So we're looking to have people nominated that have helped somebody else's business, right? That are doing something in the industry worthwhile. There's going to be 10 categories. You show up on Friday, you'll hear what all the categories are. And then so the biggest show, the most important show for us is the one a month later, about a month from Friday, where we are going to announce all of the nominees. We read them all, even if they don't make the voting, so to speak. And then, so the other nice part about it is we don't, we've kind of had to update some of the guide rules along the way. We've been doing it 10 years now. So I think we got a pretty good handle on how to make it. Kind of the spirit of it is, let's recognize people that are doing things in the industry to help other people. Mm-hmm. That's as simple as I can state it. So, but nobody has any say in it. I don't get to go, oh, well, Todd, slip me that 20 and we'll take care of you kind of thing, right? There's none of that, right? Yeah. So
Pocket
we
full of
take,
ones.
yeah. And I've always been really transparent about it. If anybody has any questions, I'm happy to share all the data in the back end. But we just, people come to a form, they put in the nominees. If they follow the rules, they have to fill out 7 of the 10 categories. Because what we found happening is, that influencer thing, people would go, hey, put me into this category. And then we'd get 100 people nominating one person in one category. It's like, no, we're looking at the whole industry here, right? If you can't come up with 7 different people in this, then you're not really paying attention well enough. And so long story short, or short story long as it's turning out to be here, it's all driven by the listeners and by the industry, and it's just fun. It's a really cool opportunity. We meet new people. I've learned about a whole bunch of new things. I've been doing this for 22, 23 years now, and every year there's somebody new that I meet that I have not. So it's like, not to say that I've met everybody, but after going to 1,000 trade shows throughout the course of my career here, I think I met a few people.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's really fun. Todd has been a Reggie Award winner, nominated many, many times. And I know that, he didn't win it last year, but I think just being on that list, kind of told people, hey, what Todd Downing's all about. So I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah. I think that's the big part of it is it's everybody can get recognized. There's no, hey, I don't really care for you, so you're not going to get on my list. It's like, hey, you may not like somebody, and guess what? They're still there. That's why it's so good at it. Is on my side of it, where I've had fun with it, is just to be able to see. There's times when you could see, votes with it, and you can see when people are really battling because they post multiple times a day about it, like here's this, and the good one was between Joe and Matt. It was like here they were going back and forth. So here would be a post, then an hour later it was a post about this, and it was all traffic driven to the Reggies and everybody excited about the industry. So being able to see that was a blast. Being a part of it, and then there's other times where I'm like, I had no clue who this company was or who this product was or what. Yeah. And let me look out more about it. And so then it was like, oh, okay, that totally makes sense with it. The one that I really liked was on the Facebook groups one, the groups and areas, because there was ones that I didn't know of. And me, I'm that information sponge. I want to get as much information as I can and be able to learn. So like they're embroidery nerds. We all know this. Am I an embroiderer? No. Am I going to get an embroidery machine? Well, technically, yes. There will be new embroidery machines in our new place, so I got to learn batches and play and have all kinds of fun. But there's things that are going to happen where I just want to know, so I can make sure that I had a better understanding of how things work. And when you can find those groups where people really want to help each other out and grow, those are the best groups. You're not going there. Not going into it, but they're trying to sell you something. That they're there. That they're there for the knowledge of it. And there's so many great people in their industry that you just don't know about. And so if there's a way that we can help others know about these people and help grow their business, hey, that's just icing on the cake. So I've really had fun with the Reggies over the years. We were nominated and, then we won, then we're nominated again. Hey, if I get to hear my name called for anything, that's always awesome. And hey, if we get nominated, sweet. And if we win, yeah. But, I'm always happy for everybody that's in a part of it. I think together as a community, we all help each other grow and become stronger. And so I'm super excited. I can't wait for this to open up on Friday, be able to hear what those 10 categories are, and a month to hear some names called. And then it's what, the last show of the year, right? Isn't that when you do it?
I think it's near the end. I think there's like 2 shows afterwards, but because we always do the maybe we do that in the new year. Planning for the new year is the last show of the year, but I think it's the one right before that, right? Gotcha. So it'll be right before Christmas time.
There we go. So
good. And then real quick, one other, I just popped a link into the comments there. We'll put it up on screen. It's a big long link, so just go find it in one of the groups or on YouTube there. But I did actually have an opportunity to be on the Connected Threads with Cassie Green from the Apparelist, and we did talk about the Reggies and then talked about the Graphics Pro Expo there. So that just came out today. I just got the email about it today, so you guys can check that out there. So that was cool. Let's see here. One other thing about that. Oh, speaking of that, right, too, the other thing that we're doing on Friday with the 2 regular guys is we are going to introduce a new kind of section. just because we're friends here, I'll tell you guys what it is. We're kind of keeping it a little bit secret, but it's not new necessarily, but we're partnering up with some of the different news kind of outlets out there, Apparelist being one of them. And we'll do the same thing with the folks at Graphics Pro, going to reach out to a couple other places. But, we're always kind of like trying to find news stories to share, because I think it's a good way to kind of just get us going. And so what we did is we asked them to come, and they're going to actually be on screen and share news items. So Cassie is going to be joining us on Friday. Little clip at the beginning, just some news items that come across. If you've not signed up for the Apparelist email newsletter, certainly worthwhile. Just go to theapparelist.com. But so yeah, I'm kind of excited about that. Just a way to kind of bring something a little fresh to get us started. Don't worry, dad joke will still happen. So, in fact, we are looking for a dad joke for this Friday. It's open right now, so I'm going to ask my 11-year-old later. But if anybody's got a good one, send it to me.
And where should they send those to? Because not only should they send, their dad jokes, but then there are 5 things, right? There's 2
absolutely.
things that they can be sending in.
Yeah. So just info@2regularguys.com, the number 2regularguys.com.
Number two.
Yeah, there we go. So yeah, that's happening Friday, like Todd talked about at the beginning. I'm super excited about Wednesday. So if you are not an OSG squad member, please reach out to me. I'd love to just have a conversation with you. I enjoy kind of that opportunity to sit down with people and say, okay, what's your challenge, right? What are you stuck on? Okay, cool. Now we know. Now let's break that down, because I think for a lot of people, when they're stuck on something, it's not that they don't know how to overcome it. It's that it's overwhelming to overcome it.
Mm-hmm.
So one of my quote unquote superpowers, I would consider, right, is just looking at it from like that higher level and going, okay, how can we break this down to make this a little bit more manageable? So any chance I get to have a call with somebody and just kind of say, here's some action steps. I love doing that. And then if they like it, maybe they'll become a part of the OSG squad, but that's not the goal of the call. So just reach out to me. Just go over to oursuccessgroup.com, and you can go to the contact us page, and there's actually a place right there where you can click and do a call, because I don't like to do it on the phone. I think having an actual Zoom conversation is the best. So there's a Calendly link. It says do that Zoom call. So yeah, check that out. And then Chuck asked Todd, Wednesday is 7 Central. That is correct, Chuck. 7 Central, 8 o'clock Eastern time for you guys over there.
Correct.
On the East Coast. So awesome. All right, Todd. I think that's about it. What's coming up next week? Anything on the docket for Tuesdays with Todd, or just kind of going with the flow on that right now?
We're going with the flow. Tomorrow, okay. Bundle drop 2 o'clock is going to be Halloween Nurse, and the reason being is because our son's girlfriend is a nurse, and she could do, and she's like, hey, I'd like some cute shirts to be able to wear. And we're like, okay, let's do this. So since I had to find those, I'm like, we're making a bundle of it. So 2 birds, 1 stone. We're doing that. We got Morning Mindset back on Friday and Monday. Tuesday with Todd might be on hiatus for a little bit. Break. We're not 100% sure, just because of the amount of stuff that's came in. Moving because of wrapping a bus, spraying golf carts, building 2 new businesses, moving locations, regular print stuff, taking those hours out. It might be more informative stuff or quick, simple stuff. I know we have the RST paper from Magic Touch for the rough surfaces. So for like wood cutting boards, things like that. There's a couple projects that we have in the mix that we're doing there. Still have to do one for hard goods. So there's stuff that can be done. It's just I want to make sure that I'm just not mailing it in. Like, here, let's go through to it. So it just might be conversational speaking when we do it, but we're going to be back with it. I promise. Things will get going good on it.
There we go. Awesome. All right, you guys. Well, thank you guys for spending some time with us here tonight. And so, yeah, we will be away from Q&A for a little bit here, and probably catch up with you guys towards the end of the month. Looking at the calendar, I think we're shooting for the 26th.
That sounds about right.
Yeah, because we'll have training, and then we'll have the implementation call on the 19th. And I will be away at the Printing United Expo that week of the 17th as well. So looking forward to that also. All right, you guys. Talk Todd, thank you, sir. Good job. We will talk to everybody again very soon.
See you guys.